Alright guys, and welcome back to Armoured Warfare, and today we have the pleasure of watching Rydek in his Challenger 1 Wolf. This is a replay been sent in, of course, by Rydek, another EU contributor and peacekeeper, and I'm good friends with him. He's a good guy, really nice guy. I highly recommend you check out his channel, link will be in the description below. And yeah, let's get on with the replay. So, the Challenger 1 Wolf. Tier 7 premium vehicle, given out in the Wolf Pack. Very, very good vehicle. And we're going to see Rydek play quite to its strength. And the strength of the Challenger 1 is it has very, very strong armour for its tier. It's a mobile bunker. And he's going to play it, and he's going to do well. And that's going to be quite good fun to see him do that. So, pipelines. I do feel I should do more replays. I feel like I might do one a week. I might try and do one on a Saturday or Sunday. A weekend thing, you know, a community highlight sort of thing on a weekend. And then when the replays get improved, I'll probably do more replays as they come, because I'm getting a bit bored of me having to keep on putting my videos out. I want to do more of you guys, and I feel like I might do a replay every weekend now, sent in from you guys. So if you send in your replays, as I've said loads of times before, to my email address, I'll take a look at them all. I take a look at them all anyway. But I think now I'm going to start doing at least one a week. It'll be good fun to see what you guys can come up with. And I can try and, you know, put pointers in different directions, try and improve your guys' gameplay on a more personal level. So we're on pipelines, and we're going to make our way into the refinery. Since the Challenger 1 has very good armour, we can put it into close range fighting. The gun, the 120mm gun, does lack a little bit in penetration. Against other tier 7 vehicles, it can become a bit of a struggle. Tier 6s and below, it's completely fine. Light tanks, AFVs of tier 7, it's fine with those. But other MBTs, it can sometimes struggle with them. So trying to get up close and personal and putting this 120mm gun to use, as well as the very, very strong armour of this vehicle, it just makes it pretty much a brawler vehicle. So Rydek has pushed quite far up already. Usually people will go and sit on that corner, but he's put up quite an aggressive play here. Before the enemies have managed to get to a position on that hill, well, they already are there, but they're not overlooking this area, he's managed to put himself into this position, which is very strong for the Challenger 1, only showing the front arm. And there you go, 80 GM bounced off the first one, but the second one went in. Now, you might be wondering, where on earth did that go in? Well, the top of the turret of the Challenger 1, it angles back very, very steeply towards the commander's cupola on the turret. Now, this armor is not particularly strong, and firing down on it from a position like that hill, where the M1134 is, he can penetrate it and do full damage to the Challenger. Now, the M1134 popped up there, and he did get pretty much, he's on very low HP now. Our 2AV, don't know what he was doing there. He pushed up way too aggressively, and with a vehicle like that, with not enough armor to sustain damage from vehicles like that, he got killed pretty quickly. Rydek, on the other hand, is still holding this position. Very good spot here, actually. I sometimes hold this position as well if I'm in a Challenger, but not much action is occurring, and you don't want to be sitting back too long in your Challenger. You want to be putting it into brawling, into the battle and combat all the time, especially when you're top tier like he is now, especially with his two friends, Flying Dutchman and Picard. Right, so T-72A's just been knocked out, and the 2AV as well, both on that hill. So the hill position is getting weaker now. Two tier 6 main battle tanks have been lost. So we have a few vehicles behind Rydek, but they seem to be not pushing. They just seem to be defending. So Rydek's pushed down to try and support the people on the hill. There's a lot of AFVs and tank destroyers there, and, well, a Challenger 1 at range using the armour. It could probably sustain a few hits, but you wouldn't want to risk it from a Centauro 120. VFM, very good light tank as well. He's got no shots on them, though, because they're behind the hill. Now, a bit of a problem there that I would recommend he doesn't do is he came out round that corner, not particularly well angled. As you see there, if you rewind the video, he comes out side on and then starts to turn as he's coming out. If you want to make full effective use of the Challenger 1's armor, front and side, come out of the corner about a 60-degree angle towards the enemy, so your side armor is also very well angled, and it increases that armor protection that you're going to get. Luckily, though, the enemy Challenger 1 fired quite late and only hit an era package on the side of his tank, and the shell bounced off. So it wasn't too much of a problem, just a little hint there, maybe a bit of an improvement. Might just be a one-off thing. Now, Leopard 2AV, tier 6 main battle tank, only armed with a 105mm gun. And there you go. He penetrates the front of the Challenger in the driver's hatch. The driver's hatch is quite a big weak spot to the Challenger, although it's not 100% guaranteed to penetrate. It can be penetrated if you get a high roll on the vehicle, and that's exactly what the Leopard 2AV got. It's not an invincible tank, the Challenger 1. Don't go into combat thinking, I'm invincible, look at me and my amount of armor, because you're going to die if you do that, unsurprisingly. But you will take the odd penetration here and there from the tier 6s. Oh, big hit there on the Bradley, actually. 551 on a crit and the engine deck. That's quite big. And you can see him working over this Leopard at the moment, taking 410, 440 damage hits right on this vehicle. Now, I was surprised there that the Leopard bounced off the side. It looked like he was aiming at the engine deck. And, well, Rydek now, what I didn't realise when I was watching back the replay is he's in a massive situation now. He's going to have to play hard here. He's got a Challenger 1 on full HP, a Bradley, and a Leopard 2AV Ice attacking him. And he's on less than half HP at the moment. The Challenger 1, though, doesn't have the era package. And now the problem here that these two guys are doing is the 2AV is not pushing around the side of Rydek. If they weren't sitting right on his front, he can easily take them, as he's doing here. He's working them over. If the 2AV had rushed around the side of him, Rydek probably would have been finished by the end of this. 2AV still trying to put shots in. It's just not working. The Challenger 1, though, has put 2 effective rounds through the driver's hatch. You can see tier 7 guns are very, very effective at knocking through the weak spots of this vehicle. But now the Challenger 1, since Rydek is now moving backwards and forwards, side to side, it's becoming very, very difficult for that Challenger 1 to hit his driver's hatch. So he's going for the Commander's Cupola, which is sort of a fail-safe. But you only do about 110 to 150 damage per hit. You can see Rydek wiggling the whole side to side. That is fantastic play there. That's exactly what you want to get into the habit of doing in your Challenger 1. And he's worked over this Challenger from full HP to dying. There we go. He lured out the Challenger 1, who doesn't have very good sidearm without that era package, or not very good sidearm in general when flat. He lured him out and kept him in front of him. If that Challenger had stayed on the corner, he would have had a much better chance of surviving. But Rydek brought him into the open, showed his side to both those tank destroyers on the hill, Centauro 120 and the Typhoon 2, both on the hill there, putting effective shots into the side of the Challenger and knocking out that dangerous tier 7 British main battle tank. Now, it's only 2 very low HP tanks left on the enemy team. A 2 versus 5. I don't think they're going to come out of this one. A Weasel 1 versus an M1134. There's the M1134. Puts a round out. Only does 274 damage though. Not very much. Not too much here. Challenger 1's mobility is not particularly good. So it's taking him a little while to catch up to him. The M1134 and the Weasel are both very, very quick vehicles. Challenger 1, completely opposite end of the spectrum. It's got absolutely no armor, no mobility at all. It can move, that's about it. Having to chase them. They could have easily have run away by now. Centauro 120 and the Typhoon have taken up defensive positions in case they push along the north, push along the 1 and 2 line. The Weasel and the Challenger here, driven by Rydek, are pushing around the west side, so they're going to cut them off no matter what now. Typhoon on the hill, he can get some good shots in across. Here we are, the last guy's dead, M1134, and he's about to be finished off. There we go. So in this replay, we saw Rydek using the monstrous armour of this Challenger 1 Wolf and the 120mm gun that this vehicle gets, and he was able to systematically pin down enemies on his flank. He put himself into a 1 versus 3 and came out as the only survivor, the victor of his flank, and he propped his entire team up. So in that match, Rydek managed to pick up 5,691 damage and also spotting damage of 2,267 with 6 assists, 15,000 reputation and nearly 500,000 credits with the Master Gunner and gold medal, being just the top on his team for basically everything except damage because that went to the Typhoon too. He played an absolute astonishing astonishingly good game. And thank you, Rydick, for sending in the replay. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on my channel. And as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.